Welcome back to session 3 on algebra. In this session here, what I want to do is I want to focus on trinomials, right? Trinomials, okay, are three terms. Tricycle, three wheels. So let's just have a look. I want to show you there's a standard form of a trinomial, okay? Let me first put that back to black. Okay, so these are trinomials. All right, trinomials. Three terms. They have a standard form, which means they kind of all look like this. Standard form. They are ax squared plus bx plus c. What is a, b, and c? What are a, b, and c? A, B, and C are numbers, right? That's all they are. We don't know them. So A, B, C are numbers. They are the coefficients. Okay? They are the coefficients. I forgot out an E. Coefficients. Efficients. Okay? Okay? So they are the numbers that are in front of the x squared, the x, and the c. So therefore, let's have a look. Minus 7x squared minus 3x plus 5. That is a trinomial, three different terms. Order 2. Trinomial, also called a quadratic. Quadratic, okay? Because you're going to come up against something, you do AP now, you're going to come up with completing the square and the general formula for a quadratic equation. Over here, what have we got? We've got A is minus 7, B is minus 3, C is plus 5. C is also known as the constant, right? So the general look of one of those is it's something with an x squared, something with an x, and a constant, a number at the end without an x. Now, let's go back to what we were saying. Okay? X minus 2, x plus 3. Let us simplify, which means multiply out, which means put in the brackets like that, and we do the FOIL, inners, outers, whichever you want to do it, but we end up with this. X squared minus 2x plus 3x is plus x minus 6. All right? Now, that was simplify. Now I say to you, do the opposite, and that is factorize. How do we get back to those two brackets over there? Okay. Well, first of all, okay, we have to look at it and we say, right, step 1. All right. Step 1. I hope you write these down, and when you're doing them, practice using the steps, okay? The ones that don't work with the steps are generally ones that are out of the league, or they're not, there's something wrong with them, because they will all work in the steps. Step 1 is, okay, open two brackets, it's a trinomial. Okay, why? Because it's going to look like this. Okay, it's going to look like that. Right? We're going to go to two brackets like that. Now, you can see the first here must be an x and that must be an x, because I'm going to be multiplying the two first ones together, right? To give me an x squared. Right? And now at the back, what are my options? All right? Let's just have a look at the options for the back. What we do is factorize the constant. Okay? Which means it's either going to be a 6 and a 1 or a 3 and a 2. Obviously, it could be a 1 and a 6 and a 2 and a 3. Now, what do? We don't know. So we can do a test. Okay? Believe me, the more you do of these, the quicker you get with this factorizing and seeing the ones that work. But what's the way to do it? We've got the left-hand side, okay, is the 1 there. Okay, it's 1 over 1. There's no other option, right? And the right-hand side, I've got 2 options, 6 and 1 and 3 and 2. Okay? So first thing I do is I take my column 1 and I multiply it by column 2. Cross multiply it. Okay? Right? Column 1, the left-hand side, that is this guy here, right? It's only a 1 and a 1 because a 1 and a 1 there. There's no coefficient of x squared. It is 1. Okay? So I'm going to cross multiply those two. What do I get? Okay. I get the following, don't I? I get this. I get 1 times 1 is 1 and a 6. So I get a 1 and a 6. Then let's add them. 1 plus 6 is 7 and 1 minus 6. Just take the absolute value. Don't give it a sign. 1 minus 6, all right, call it minus 5. But all we're doing is we are looking to find what is the middle term here. Our target is this red number here. In this case, we're looking for a plus 1. All right? Well, straight away, with that set up there, we've got either a 7 or a 5, right? That's a 7 or a 5 is that number. You don't have to worry about the negative at this moment, all right? Because it could have gone the other way around as well. You get the same answer, okay? For those who are doing AP, this is the modulus, the absolute value, all right? So let's have a look. Then let's take column, that's column 1 times column 2. Let's have a look at now column 1 times column 3. This is column 3. Okay? Let's have a look at column 1 times column 3. That's 1 over 1 times 3 over 2. What do? Same thing. Cross multiply. That gives us what? It gives us 2 and 3. So it's 2 plus 3 is equal to 5, and 2 minus 3 is equal to minus 1. So it's either a 5 or a 1. Let's have a look. What number is our target? Is a 1. There we go. It's this one, isn't it? It's this guy. So we can go back and now say, now be careful here. Look at this. This is my first bracket. This is my second bracket. It's really not a big issue. So it's 1x and a 3 and 1x and a 2. All right? So now, how do we work out the sign? Generally, we put the biggest number there, okay, and let's just have a look. What was the equation? It's a plus 1x, isn't it? Right? It's a plus 1. All right? So therefore, and the easiest way to do these, believe me, is check it. Take the sign there and put a minus there. Then just quickly multiply. What I say to my students is leave space above. Okay, leave a line between. We are asked to factorize. Let's go back. We are asked to factorize. Just let's check. It was x squared plus x minus 6. Okay. We are asked to factorize. All right. X squared plus x minus 6. We leave a line vacant there. We know it's an x. We know it's an x. We know it's a 3 and a 2. And we've chosen plus and minus. We've taken the highest and the sign in front of the x. Right? Taken the highest in the first bracket, the highest of the 2, and taken the sign. And I've taken that as being a minus because I expect a minus there. So now you quickly multiply it out. You put in your brackets. Whoops, sorry, like that and like that. Okay, here's the wrong bracket there. But that gives me x squared plus 3x minus 2x minus 6. So it's ticked the boxes. It's correct. So therefore, those are the factors, aren't they? All right. The factors of that equation are going to be x plus 3x minus 2. All right? Okay, that's that one. Right? So on these things, let's have a look at this one. X squared minus 5x. All right? All right? Let's have a look at this one. X squared minus 5x, okay, plus 6. All right? Now let's have a look. First of all, leave a line and open two brackets. I have got no coefficient there, so it's going to be an x and an x, because it's x times x is x squared. If there's a 1 here, it's always just a 1x and a 1x. All right? So therefore, okay, just take that 1 away because we know it's there. Then I look at my options for the back number. So I factorize 6. What are my options? Is a 6 and a 1 and a 3 and a 2. Okay? Let's now look. Right. We said we take the coefficient there is a 1 and a 1. So it's column 1, column 2, column 3. Column 1 times column 2 cross multiplied. Column 1 cross multiplied, column 2. Cross multiplied, okay, not multiplied out, is 1, 1 cross multiplied with 6 and 1 gives us a 6 and a 1. All right? A 6 and a 1 does what? It means that it's either 6 plus 1 or 6 minus 1, which is going to be 7 or 5. Hang on, there it is. It's a 5. Okay? I found a 5. All right? So what can I say? Therefore, it must be a 6 and a 1. There's my first bracket, x, 1, and a 6, and the next bracket, 1x and a 1. Can you see? This is my first bracket there, and this is our second bracket there. Okay? I know it's pretty intense, but let's just keep it going. Okay? So what do I say now? I say, right, it was a minus sign there, so I put a minus sign. As my first guess, it generally is going to work this way, but as my first guess, I'm going to put a minus there. All right, and I need to get a plus, which means I need to have a minus there, because plus times a minus times a minus is a plus. Okay? So I've now got my factors, x minus, and what do? I quickly check. X squared minus 6x, okay, minus x. Okay? Oh dear. Can you see? It's now gone wrong because I'm checking it. And I end up with a plus 6. It's gone wrong. Okay? Well, therefore, this wasn't the correct. Although it gave me a 5, it wasn't the correct answer. That is why we go and we check. Okay? Because sometimes it works out that you can have 2 or 3, so you have to multiply back. It doesn't always give you the correct one. Can you see there? I've got minus 7x. That's a bit of a problem. So now I take column 1 and I cross multiply that with column 3, which is a 1 and a 1 cross multiplied with column 3, a 3 and a 2, which gives me a 3 and a 2, which gives me 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. There's another. Can you see? It's a repeated. So I've got another option. This is my top bracket. I've got the x and the 3, and the bottom bracket is the x and the 2. I take the sign, change it there because I want to, come on, we want a plus at the back. So it's got to be a minus sign. Check it. X squared minus 3x minus 2x plus 6. Hallelujah, we've got it. So our factors are x minus 3, x minus 2. All right? So this is why I always say, please check it. I know that sometimes you get told a whole load of different rules for these trinomials, okay? That's great. But personally, I don't want to remember if this, then that, if this, then that. Do you know what? At the end of the day, for speed, very often, it's quicker to try your answer and see if it's right or wrong than it is to try and remember the rules. Okay? That very much holds true for big time in elements of physics. Okay? Big time for issues in trig as well. It's very often just quicker to try it and see if you're right or you're wrong. All right? Because you're going to spend more time trying to remember, what are the rules again? What did they say? If this, then that. And the chances are you're going to get it wrong. And then you've wasted all that time, and at the end of the day, you're behind the 8 ball. Right? Because you can't finish. Okay, dokes. Let's have a look. Now let's bring in something else. Let's say they say factorize, okay, 2x squared minus 16x plus 32. Oh dear. Hold on. What is step 1 of factorization? Step 1, highest common factor. Step 2 was difference of 2 squares. Step 3, trinomial. Step 4 is going to be grouping. Okay. Step 5 is going to be a cubic. Okay, but don't worry about him, we're going to get to those. Trinomial, yeah, but first, before we get there, always, step 1, highest common factor. No matter what you're doing, you go for highest common factor first. Okay? Critical, don't ever forget it. It just makes your life easier. Hey, hang on. 2 is common to both here. Alright? Let's just change this and amp it up a bit, shall we? Let's call this 2x cubed, x squared, and 32x. Hello? 2 is common. I can divide 2 will go into there, and 2 goes into 32. I can also take the x away. So we can factorize that as 2x, leaving us with an x squared, right? Minus 8x plus 16, like so. So now I've got a factor on the outside of 2x. Hello, that's a trinomial. We've recognized that. Then we go and we look at the factors. Okay? Please, when you're doing this, okay, go to the right-hand side. Remember, paper's cheap. I tell my physics and my chemistry students, please don't write like this and try and fit it all in there. Because A, you can't see it. B, as sure as eggs are eggs, the person who's marking it, it probably can't even see it. They're just seeing like a black blob, okay? It's just, the other thing is, the person who's marking it then looks at it and goes, nah, I can't. I'm not going to waste my time trying to make it out. Show your examiner, okay, what you're doing. Because when you go back to re-look at it, you can see where your mistake was. Your examiner can see where your mistake was. And you can see it was a silly mistake or it was a mistake of substance. Your examiner can see it and say, oh, okay, silly mistake. Tell you what, great, the rest of it's all right. That was just a very silly mistake. But if they can't see what's going on, well, then they're not going to be bothered, okay? Especially grade 12, because remember, in grade 12, it's not your teacher. They don't know your name, they don't know your handwriting. It can be an examiner from goodness knows where marking your stuff, right? So get into the habit of showing nicely your working out. So let's look. What are my options at the front? Of the left-hand side is a 1 and a 1, isn't it? There it is, because this is a 1. On the right-hand side, over here, 16 and 1. And an 8 and a 2. All right? So there's my options for this one, but hold on, what about a 4 and a 4? Okay? Can you see those there? Okay, now let's have a look. Okay? First of all, it's column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, right? We've now got all those columns there. So I cross multiply 1, 1 by 16 over 1, which gives me 16 and 1. 16 plus 1 is equal to 17. 16 minus 1 is equal to 15. Well, what's my target number? My target is 8. I need an 8, all right? Never mind whether it's a minus or plus, I need an 8. Well, then I say, okay, that didn't work. Let's go column 1 cross multiplied column 3. 1, 1 times column 3 is 8 and 2. That's going to be 8 times 1 is 8 and 2. What do I get now? So 8 plus 2 is 10. 8 minus 2 is 6. Nope, I haven't got my 8. All right, let's keep going. Now I've got the last is column 1 cross multiply column 4, which is 1, 1 times 4, 4, which gives me 4 and 4. 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. Yes, I've got it. 4 minus 4 is 0. Here's my number. Okay, so this is my top bracket, my left and my right brackets. Okay, so what have we got now? We say, okay, on the outside is my factor. I got to read it. 2x is on the outside. Okay, so 2x is on the outside, bracket, bracket. Over here I've got 1x and 1x, and I've got a 4 and a 4. Okay, now I need a, let's have a look. I need a minus 8. So it's a minus, minus, and a minus, which gives me plus 16, which is the answer that I want. What do I do next? I do a quick check of this. X squared minus 4x, okay, plus 16, tick, tick, got it. So my final answer is 2x, and here, when we are factorizing, we take it down to x minus that all squared. Okay? Okay, now let's have a look at something slightly more difficult, right? Let's have a look at this one. 12x squared minus 56, okay? 12x squared minus 56x minus 9. Oh, plus 9. Oh my word, all right? Hang on. Right, first of all, highest common factor. I don't know. Well, let's have a look. Does 12, what about 3? 3 goes into 12. Does 3 go into 56? No, because that adds up to 6 and 5 is 11. Remember, you add them together and divide by, check if it's divisible by 3. It's not. It is a trinomial, so we immediately say bracket and bracket. Now, let's have a look at the left-hand side. What are my options? 12 and 1, 6 and 2, 4 and 3. The right-hand side is 9 and 1 and 3 and 3. Okay. Now you say, all right, goodness gracious me, what do we do? Okay. Well, let's see. Can you see here we've got column 1, column that. Column 2, we've got a lot of permutations and combinations over here, haven't we? All right. So what do? We say this. We say, okay, first of all, let's try column 1, okay, with the 12 and the 1, and hang on, we can exclude straight away. We can exclude straight away this one because the common factor here and here are the same, all right? And at the bottom, we've also got a common factor 3 and 3 there, right? Because 3 goes into 12, right? Which means it leaves us with, as a possible pairing, okay, these over here, all right? You can try them, okay, and see what you get, all right? But essentially, there's a common factor there, so you don't pair them. 12 and that. So now we've got 6 and 9 and a 2 and a 1 that we're going to cross multiply. Okay, let's have a look. Let's go. 6 times 1 is a 6 and 18. Okay, happy with that? Let's have a look. 6 plus 18 and 6 minus 18. 6 plus 18 is 18, 24. 6 minus 18 is minus 12. What's our target number, ladies and gentlemen? The target number is 56. Remember, I'm not worried about the minus at this point. The target number is 56. So what do? I say, that's not right. So where have I gone wrong? You haven't gone wrong. Just remember that you've got a 6 and a 2. It could be a 1 and a 9. because this is the left bracket, this is the right bracket, like that, right? Because they could be in different brackets. Let's have a look here. 6 times 9 is 54, okay? And 2. So that's 54 plus 2 is 56. Yep, hallelujah. Eureka, as Archimedes shouted, right? We have found it, because then 54 minus 2 is 52. That's not what we're after. We are after 56. So we now know there's our bracket and there's our other bracket. It's a 6x and a 2x and a 1 and a 9. Oh my word. Now, let's have a look and say, all right, the highest number should carry the sign. So let's use that rule, okay? The highest number carrying the sign, all right? Remember, the highest, okay, the highest number carrying the sign, okay? In other words, the 9 takes the minus. The other one, in other words, I need a plus there. So that's also got to be a minus, correct? Okay? So let's have a quick check. 6x times that is 12x squared. Minus 2x minus 54x. Okay? And plus 9. Minus 54 minus 56, tick, tick. They're all correct. Okay? That's quite a tough one. All right? Now there is a way that I'll show you at a later stage of using a calculator. I don't want to do it at this stage. I'd like to get a little bit more forward and more advanced into it. But obviously the kind of thing you can use to check your answers at the end of the day. Okay? And I know a lot of people don't like using calculators for it. But you know what? We're looking for time. So if we know what we're doing here. Okay? So we want to shave off time. So therefore, if we can use the technology available, we can use it. But remember, you've got to show what you're doing. You can't just write an answer down. Because if it's wrong, you've got nothing to stand up on. Somebody could turn around and say, where did you get this answer from? The guy next door? You've got no comeback on that one, have you? All right? So in the next section, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to look at a different one. We're going to look at another one of these trinomials, okay? And it's going to be this guy. Yeah, I'll be ending off now. We're going to look at this one. 12x squared plus 15x minus 18. All right? And we're going to go through and we're going to see how we get to an answer with that one. All right? The last section on this factorizing that we're going to do, okay, is going to be grouping and then focusing on cubics. Okay? Grouping is something that you know what, grouping you come across and here and there. Grouping is generally when you've got more than 3 terms, okay? But we'll get to grouping in the next session. Thanks for watching. I hope we are going fast. We are doing it quite intense, but that's what these sessions are about. They're about intense learning, focused, line for line for line. One last thing, okay? Remember, when we're doing these things, do one thing in one line. I'm going to repeat that a few times, right, throughout the lesson. Don't try and factorize and do this and do that. Why? Because we forget what we're doing and we end up making an error. We don't want to make an unforced, silly error in line 2 when we've still got 8 lines to go. No, that'd be crazy. So out of 6 marks, we end up with 1 because we made a silly error in the second line. Okay, I'll be back with you soon. Thanks for watching. Cheers.